Isaiah loved basketball more than anything. From the time he was little, he would dribble a ball everywhere he went, down the street, in the grocery store, much to his mom's dismay, and even sometimes in his dreams. He wasn't just playing, he was imagining. Each bounce was a beat in a symphony of victory. Every swish of the net was a roar of the crowd. His biggest dream was to play college basketball. He pictured himself wearing a jersey with his name on the back, making amazing shots, and hearing the cheers of the fans. He spent hours watching college games on TV, studying the players' moves and imagining himself out on the court with them. He knew it would take a lot of hard work, but Isaiah was ready. He practiced every day after school, shooting hoops until it was too dark to see the basket. He ran sprints to build his speed and did push-ups to get stronger. Isaiah wasn't the tallest or the fastest player, but he had heart. He never gave up, no matter how tough things got. He always tried his best, and he always encouraged his teammates. He knew that basketball wasn't just about individual skill, it was about working together as a team. When high school tryouts came around in 10th grade, Isaiah was nervous but excited. He knew this was his chance to prove himself and show everyone what he could do. He practiced his jump shot, perfected his dribbling, and studied the plays until he knew them by heart. He even wore his lucky socks, the ones with the little basketballs on them, for good measure. The tryouts were tough. There were a lot of talented players, all competing for a limited number of spots on the team. Isaiah did his best, running hard, passing accurately, and shooting with confidence. He felt like he played well, but he knew that the coaches had a difficult decision to make. A week later, the list of players who made the team was posted on the gym door. Isaiah held his breath as he walked towards it, his heart pounding in his chest. He scanned the list, looking for his name. He looked again. And again. But his name wasn't there. A wave of disappointment washed over him. He didn't make the team. His dream felt a million miles away. He felt like giving up. All those hours of practice, all that hard work, it felt like it was all for nothing. The news hit Isaiah hard. He walked home slowly, dragging his feet. His basketball, usually bouncing happily beside him, stayed tucked under his arm, silent and still. It felt as heavy as a ton of bricks. The sky seemed grayer than usual, and even his favorite song on the radio sounded sad. When he got home, he went straight to his room and closed the door. He didn't want to talk to anyone. He just wanted to be alone with his disappointment. He flopped onto his bed, staring at the ceiling. He could see the basketball hoop hanging outside his window. It seemed to be mocking him. His mom knocked gently on the door. "Isaiah, honey, are you okay?" she asked softly. He mumbled, "Yeah, Mom, I'm fine." He didn't want her to see him upset. He knew she would try to make him feel better, but he didn't think anything could. She opened the door a crack and peeked in. She could see the sadness in his eyes. "Do you want to talk about it?" she asked. Isaiah shook his head. "There's nothing to talk about," he said. "I just didn't make the team." His mom came in and sat beside him on the bed. She put her arm around him and gave him a hug. "I'm so sorry, sweetie," she said. "I know how much this meant to you." Isaiah leaned into his mom's hug. He didn't say anything, but he felt a little bit better. He knew his mom understood how he was feeling. Maybe I'm just not good enough," he finally whispered. "Maybe I should just give up on basketball." His mom squeezed him tighter. "Don't say that, Isaiah," she said firmly. "You are a talented basketball player. You have a lot of heart, and you never give up. That's what makes you special." "But the coach didn't see it," Isaiah said, his voice cracking. "He didn't think I was good enough." "Sometimes people make mistakes," his mom said. "And sometimes things don't work out the way we want them to. But that doesn't mean you should give up on your dream. It just means you have to work harder." She smiled at him. "Remember what you always say. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Isaiah managed a weak smile. He knew his mom was right. He couldn't let this one setback stop him from achieving his dream. He would keep practicing, keep getting better, and keep believing in himself. He wouldn't give up. Not now. Not ever. But right now, all he wanted to do was wallow in his disappointment. He pulled the covers over his head, hoping the world would just disappear. Being cut from the team wasn't just a rejection, it felt like a punch to the gut, leaving him winded and wanting to hide. The next day at school was even worse. Isaiah tried to avoid the basketball court, but it was impossible. It seemed like everyone was talking about the team. He saw some of the players who had made the team, laughing and joking around. He felt a pang of jealousy. He should have been out there with them. He walked past the gym and heard voices. He recognized some of them as the voices of players who had made the team. He tried to ignore them and keep walking, but he couldn't help but hear what they were saying. "Did you see Isaiah try out?" one of them said, laughing. "He was so slow. He looked like he was running in slow motion." Another player chimed in, "Yeah, and he's so soft. He wouldn't even try to go for rebounds. He was scared of getting hit." Isaiah's heart sank. He couldn't believe they were talking about him like that. He knew he wasn't the fastest or strongest player, but he always tried his best. He had thought that his teammates would respect him, even if he didn't make the team. "I heard coach said he was the easiest cut he had to make," another player added. "He said Isaiah just doesn't have what it takes." That was the last straw. Isaiah couldn't take it anymore. He turned around and walked away as quickly as he could, tears welling up in his eyes. He ran to the bathroom and locked himself in a stall. He couldn't stop the tears from flowing. He felt humiliated and ashamed. He wasn't just disappointed, he was hurt. The words of his teammates echoed in his head, each one a painful reminder of his failure. He stayed in the bathroom for a long time, trying to compose himself. He knew he couldn't let his teammates see him like this. He had to be strong. He had to prove them wrong. He splashed some water on his face and took a deep breath. He looked at himself in the mirror. His eyes were red and puffy, but he could still see a flicker of determination in them. He wouldn't let his teammates' words break him. He would use them as fuel to work harder and get better. He would show them that he had what it takes to be a great basketball player. He walked out of the bathroom with his head held high. He wouldn't let anyone see him cry again. He would prove them all wrong. He would make his dream come true, no matter what it took. But deep down, the sting of their words lingered, making his resolve even stronger. He would remember this feeling, this moment, and use it to push himself beyond his limits. That night, Isaiah couldn't sleep. The words, slow, and soft, kept replaying in his head. He tossed and turned, trying to block them out, but they wouldn't go away. He knew he had to do something. He couldn't just sit around and feel sorry for himself. He had to take action. He got out of bed and went to his desk. He grabbed a notebook and a pen and started to write. He wrote down all the things he needed to improve. He needed to get faster, stronger, and more confident. He needed to prove his teammates wrong. He needed to prove himself right. He decided to create a secret training plan. He wouldn't tell anyone about it, not even his mom. He wanted to surprise everyone with his improvement. He knew it would be hard work, but he was determined to do it. The first thing he wrote down was speed. He needed to get faster. He decided he would start running every morning before school. He would run sprints and distance runs to build his endurance and speed. He would also work on his agility, practicing quick turns and changes of direction. Next, he wrote down strength. He needed to get stronger. He decided he would start lifting weights in his garage. He would start with light weights and gradually increase the weight as he got stronger. He would also do push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups to build his upper body strength. Finally, he wrote down, confidence. He knew that confidence was just as important as speed and strength. He decided he would start visualizing himself playing well. He would imagine himself making shots, grabbing rebounds, and playing great defense. He would also practice positive self-talk, telling himself that he was a good player and that he could achieve his goals. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was committed to his secret training plan. He would wake up early every morning, work hard every day, and never give up on his dream. He would show everyone that he had what it takes to be a great basketball player. He closed his notebook and put it under his pillow. He felt a sense of purpose and excitement. He had a plan, and he was ready to put it into action. He drifted off to sleep, dreaming of making the winning shot in the state championship game. This wasn't just about proving others wrong anymore, it was about proving something to himself. He needed to know, deep down, that he had the grit and determination to overcome any obstacle. His secret plan was his testament to that belief. The taunts had stung, but they also sparked a fire within him, a fire that would burn bright and guide him on his journey. The next morning, the alarm clock blared at 5 a.m. Isaiah groaned and reached over to turn it off. It was still dark outside, and the thought of getting out of bed was not appealing. But he remembered his secret plan, and he knew he had to get started. He threw off the covers and got dressed in his workout clothes. He grabbed his running shoes and headed out the door, trying to be as quiet as possible so he wouldn't wake up his family. The air was crisp and cool as he stepped outside. The sky was just beginning to lighten, and the stars were still visible. He took a deep breath and started to run. At first, it was tough. His legs felt heavy, and his lungs burned. He wanted to stop and walk, but he pushed himself to keep going. He remembered his teammates' words, slow and soft, and he used them as motivation. He wouldn't let them be right. He ran through the streets of his neighborhood, past houses with sleeping families. He imagined himself running faster and faster, leaving his teammates in the dust. He pictured himself making impossible shots, leaping higher than anyone else, and playing with unmatched confidence. As he ran, he started to feel stronger. His legs loosened up, and his breathing became easier. He started to enjoy the feeling of the wind in his face and the rhythm of his feet hitting the pavement. He finished his run feeling tired but also energized. He had accomplished something. He had taken the first step towards achieving his dream. After school, he went straight to the garage. His dad had some old weights that he used to lift, but they had been collecting dust for years. Isaiah wiped them down and started to lift. He started with light weights, focusing on his form. He did squats, bench presses, and deadlifts, working every muscle in his body. He felt awkward and clumsy at first, but he kept practicing. He reminded himself that every rep was making him stronger. He spent an hour in the garage, lifting weights and pushing himself to his limit. He finished his workout feeling sore but also proud. He was building strength, both physically and mentally. That night, before he went to bed, he sat down and visualized himself playing basketball. He imagined himself dribbling the ball with speed and grace, making perfect passes, and sinking jump shots with ease. He saw himself grabbing rebounds, blocking shots, and playing tough defense. He repeated positive affirmations to himself, telling himself that he was a great player and that he could achieve his goals. He fell asleep with a smile on his face, feeling confident and hopeful. He knew that his secret training plan was working. He was getting faster, stronger, and more confident every day. He was on his way to proving everyone wrong and achieving his dream. This was his time, his chance to redefine himself and silence the doubters, and he wouldn't waste it. Each early morning run, each grueling weightlifting session, and each moment of visualization brought him closer to the player he knew he could be. As the weeks turned into months, Isaiah's secret training became a routine. Every morning, before the sun rose, he was out running, pushing his body to its limits. He ran farther and faster each day, building his endurance and speed. He imagined his teammates watching him, their mouths agape in surprise as he zoomed past them. After school, he would head straight to the garage, where he would lift weights until his muscles screamed. He started to see a change in his body. His arms and legs became more defined, and he felt stronger and more powerful. He even surprised himself one day when he managed to lift a weight that he had previously struggled with. But Isaiah knew that physical strength wasn't enough. He also needed to improve his basketball skills. So, after his evening homework, when everyone else was asleep, Isaiah would sneak out to the basketball court near his house. Under the dim glow of the streetlight, he would practice his dribbling, shooting, and passing. He would dribble the ball between his legs, behind his back, and around his body, improving his ball handling skills. He would shoot hundreds of jump shots, free throws, and layups, perfecting his technique and accuracy. He imagined himself in a real game, making clutch shots under pressure. He also worked on his defense, practicing his footwork and agility. He would slide back and forth, pretending to guard an opponent, anticipating their every move. He knew that defense was just as important as offense, and he wanted to be a well-rounded player. Sometimes, he would get discouraged. He would miss a shot, stumble during a drill, or feel exhausted from all the training. But he would always remind himself of his goal, to prove his teammates wrong and achieve his dream. He would take a deep breath, shake off the negativity, and keep practicing. He even started studying game film. He would watch videos of professional basketball players, analyzing their moves, strategies, and techniques. He learned how to read defenses, anticipate passes, and create scoring opportunities. He wanted to understand the game inside and out. He knew that his late-night training sessions were paying off. He could feel himself getting better every day. His dribbling was smoother, his shooting was more accurate, and his defense was tighter. He was transforming himself into a completely different player. He was no longer the slow and soft player that his teammates had described. He was becoming faster, stronger, and more confident. He was ready to show them what he could do. The secret was out, at least to himself. He was no longer just dreaming of success, he was building it, brick by brick, under the cover of darkness. The late-night court was his sanctuary, the place where he forged his new identity. He was becoming the player he was always meant to be. The silence of the night amplified his focus, allowing him to hear the swish of the net, the squeak of his shoes, and the whisper of his determination. He was ready. Isaiah's commitment to basketball went beyond physical training. He wanted to understand the game on a deeper level. He started spending hours studying plays and strategies, turning himself into a student of the sport. He borrowed books from the library about basketball tactics, formations, and famous coaches. He devoured them, highlighting key concepts and taking notes in his ever-present notebook. He watched countless games, not just for entertainment, but to analyze the players' movements, the coach's decisions, and the flow of the game. He paused and rewound plays, dissecting them piece by piece. He started to see patterns and understand the reasoning behind different strategies. He even created his own playbook, filled with diagrams of plays he had learned and variations he had come up with himself. He imagined himself as a coach, calling the plays and guiding his team to victory. He practiced explaining the plays out loud, making sure he could communicate them clearly and effectively. He learned about different offensive and defensive systems, such as the triangle offense, the zone defense, and the full-court press. He understood the strengths and weaknesses of each system and how to exploit them. He started to think about the game in a new way. He wasn't just focused on his own performance, he was thinking about the team as a whole. He was learning how to anticipate his teammates' movements, set screens, and create open shots. He even started to see the game from the coach's perspective. He understood the challenges of managing players, making substitutions, and motivating the team. He realized that coaching was about more than just X's and O's, it was about leadership, communication, and building relationships. He began to understand why certain plays worked and why others failed. He learned how to identify mismatches and exploit weaknesses in the opposing team. He studied the tendencies of different players and learned how to anticipate their moves. His understanding of the game grew exponentially. He wasn't just a player anymore, he was becoming a strategist, a tactician, a leader. He was developing a basketball IQ that would set him apart from his peers. He knew that his knowledge of the game would give him a significant advantage. He would be able to make better decisions on the court, anticipate his opponent's moves, and lead his team to victory. He was becoming a complete basketball player, both physically and mentally. This deep understanding became his secret weapon, complementing his physical transformation. It allowed him to anticipate plays, make split-second decisions, and become a true leader on the court, even before he had the chance to prove it to anyone else. The countless hours spent studying had transformed him from a hopeful player to a strategic mastermind, ready to take on any challenge. The summer before his junior year, Isaiah continued his rigorous training. He barely took a day off, driven by his unwavering determination. When tryouts for the basketball team approached again, he felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. He knew he was a different player than he had been 2 years ago, but he still had to prove it. This time, he walked into the gym with his head held high. He was no longer the timid, unsure kid who had been cut from the team. He was confident, strong, and ready to compete. The tryouts were even more challenging than he remembered. The coaches put the players through grueling drills, testing their speed, agility, strength, and basketball skills. Isaiah pushed himself to his limit, giving it everything he had. He ran faster, jumped higher, and shot more accurately than ever before. He also showcased his improved basketball IQ, making smart passes, anticipating his teammates' moves, and playing tough defense. He could see the coaches watching him, their expressions unreadable. The final day of tryouts was the most nerve-wracking. The coaches announced that they would be posting the list of players who made the team later that afternoon. Isaiah spent the rest of the day in a state of anxiety, wondering if all his hard work had paid off. When the list was finally posted, a crowd of students gathered around the gym door. Isaiah took a deep breath and walked towards the crowd, his heart pounding in his chest. He scanned the list, looking for his name. He saw name after name, but none of them were his. His heart sank. He was about to give up when he saw it, Isaiah Jones. His name was on the list. A wave of relief washed over him. He had made the team. He couldn't believe it. All those hours of training, all the sweat and tears, had finally paid off. He had proven his teammates wrong, and he had achieved his first goal. He ran home to tell his mom the good news. She was overjoyed and gave him a big hug. She had always believed in him, even when he had doubted himself. Making the team was just the beginning. Isaiah knew that he still had a lot of work to do. He was determined to prove himself on the court and help his team win. He was ready for the challenge. This acceptance was more than just making the team, it was validation of his relentless effort and a chance to finally show everyone, including himself, what he was capable of. The glimmer of hope had turned into a bright light, illuminating his path forward. He wouldn't take this opportunity for granted. He would continue to work hard, learn and grow, both as a player and as a person. Making the team was a huge accomplishment, but Isaiah knew it was just the first step. He was determined to earn his playing time and contribute to the team's success. He continued to work hard in practice, pushing himself to improve every day. At first, he didn't get much playing time. He mostly sat on the bench, watching his teammates play. But he didn't get discouraged. He knew that he had to be patient and wait for his opportunity. He used his time on the bench to study the game. He watched the players on the court, analyzing their strengths and weaknesses. He paid attention to the coach's instructions and learned the team's plays inside and out. He also continued to practice on his own, working on his skills and building his confidence. He knew that he had to be ready when his chance came. Gradually, Isaiah started to get more playing time. The coach noticed his hard work and dedication, and he began to trust him on the court. Isaiah made the most of his opportunities, playing with energy, passion, and intelligence. He wasn't just scoring points, he was making smart passes, playing tough defense, and setting screens for his teammates. He was becoming a valuable asset to the team. As he played more, his confidence grew. He started to believe in himself and his abilities. He realized that he was just as good as, if not better than, some of the players who had made fun of him 2 years ago. His teammates started to respect him. They saw how hard he worked and how much he cared about the team. They began to rely on him in crucial situations. He even started to become a leader on the court. He would encourage his teammates, call out plays, and make sure everyone was on the same page. His basketball IQ and understanding of the game were invaluable. By the end of the season, Isaiah had become a key player on the team. He was no longer just a bench warmer, he was a starter, a leader, and a difference maker. His gradual improvement had transformed him from a player who was considered slow and soft into a respected and valuable member of the team. This wasn't an overnight success, it was the result of consistent hard work, dedication, and an unwavering belief in himself. He had proven that with enough effort, anything was possible. His journey from the bench to a key player became an inspiration to his teammates, showing them the power of perseverance and the importance of never giving up on their dreams. He was no longer just playing basketball, he was embodying the spirit of resilience and determination. Isaiah's senior year was even more successful. He continued to improve his skills and his leadership, and he became the team captain. He led his team to an impressive record, and they made it all the way to the state championship game. The atmosphere at the championship game was electric. The arena was packed with fans, cheering and waving banners. The energy was palpable, and Isaiah could feel the excitement coursing through his veins. He looked around at his teammates, their faces a mixture of nerves and determination. He knew that they had worked hard to get to this point, and he was confident that they could win. Their opponent was a tough team, known for their aggressive defense and their high-scoring offense. Isaiah knew that they would have to play their best game to beat them. The game started off fast-paced and physical. Both teams traded baskets, and the score remained close. Isaiah played with intensity, scoring points, making assists, and playing tough defense. He could feel the pressure mounting as the game went on. The score remained tight, and the lead changed hands several times. Every possession was crucial. In the fourth quarter, Isaiah's team started to pull ahead. They played with confidence and composure, executing their plays flawlessly. Isaiah made several key shots, including a three-pointer that gave his team a 5-point lead. But their opponent didn't give up. They fought back, scoring several quick baskets and tying the game with just a minute left on the clock. The tension in the arena was unbearable. Every fan was on their feet, screaming and cheering. The outcome of the game hung in the balance. Isaiah knew that he had to step up and make a play. He had worked too hard to let his team lose now. He had come too far to give up on his dream. He looked at his coach, who gave him a nod of encouragement. He knew that his coach trusted him to make the right decision. With seconds ticking away, Isaiah dribbled the ball down the court, his eyes focused on the basket. He could feel the pressure of the moment, but he remained calm and composed. He was ready to seize his destiny. The championship game was the ultimate test, a culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and unwavering belief. It was a chance to prove not only to his former doubters but also to himself that he was capable of achieving anything he set his mind to. This was his moment to shine, to lead his team to victory, and to etch his name into the history books. The weight of the game rested on his shoulders, but he embraced it, knowing that he was prepared for this challenge. He was ready to make the shot that would define his career. The clock ticked down, 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Isaiah dribbled towards the top of the key, guarded closely by a defender. He knew he had to create some space. He faked a drive to the right, then quickly crossed over to his left, leaving the defender stumbling behind. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. He took a step back, creating just enough room to get his shot off. He rose up, the ball feeling light in his hands. He had practiced this shot thousands of times, in his driveway, in the gym, under the dim glow of the streetlight. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. He released the ball, arching it perfectly towards the basket. The arena held its breath. Every eye was on the ball as it sailed through the air. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. The ball reached its apex and began to descend, heading straight for the hoop. Isaiah's heart pounded in his chest. He could hear the deafening roar of the crowd, but all he could focus on was the ball. 1 second. Swish. The ball went through the net, without even touching the rim. The buzzer sounded, its shrill tone piercing through the chaos. The game was over. Isaiah's team had won. The arena erupted in pandemonium. Fans stormed the court, cheering and celebrating. Isaiah's teammates mobbed him, lifting him onto their shoulders. He was a hero. He looked up at the scoreboard, his team's score was 1 point higher than their opponents. He had made the game-winning shot. He had hit the buzzer beater. He couldn't believe it. All those years of hard work, all the sacrifices, all the doubts, had led to this moment. He had proven everyone wrong. He had achieved his dream. He saw his mom in the stands, jumping up and down and waving her arms. He smiled at her, knowing that she was proud of him. He also saw some of his former teammates, the ones who had called him slow and soft. Their faces were a mixture of shock and admiration. He had shown them that he had what it takes. He had not only won the game, but he had also won their respect. His buzzer beater wasn't just a shot, it was a statement. It was a testament to his unwavering determination and his refusal to give up on his dream. He had silenced the doubters and proven that with hard work and belief in oneself, anything is possible. The roar of the crowd was deafening, but above it all, Isaiah could hear the faint echo of his mom's voice, reminding him, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. He had embodied those words, and now, he was a champion. The journey had been long and arduous, but it was all worth it. He had reached the pinnacle of high school basketball, and he knew that this was just the beginning. He was ready for the next chapter, ready to take on new challenges, and ready to continue pursuing his dream. The celebrations continued long after the final buzzer. Back in the locker room, the team erupted in cheers, drenching Isaiah and Coach with water. The air was thick with joy and disbelief. A reporter approached Isaiah, microphone in hand. "Isaiah, what was going through your mind in those final seconds?" Isaiah paused, trying to find the right words. "Just years of hard work, you know. I just wanted to win for my team, for my family, for everyone who believed in me." He glanced over to where his mom stood beaming, tears streaming down her face. He knew she understood the magnitude of this moment better than anyone. The award ceremony followed. The team received the championship trophy, hoisting it high above their heads to thunderous applause. Then came the individual awards. And now, the announcer boomed, the award for most valuable player goes to Isaiah Jones. Another wave of cheers washed over Isaiah. He walked to the stage, accepting the MVP medal with a humble smile. He knew that this award was a testament to his hard work and dedication, but he also knew that it wouldn't have been possible without his teammates. The coach clapped him on the back. "Isaiah, you earned it, kid. You deserve everything that's coming your way." As he held the medal, a scout from a Division I college approached him. "Isaiah, that was an incredible performance. We've been watching you, and we'd like to offer you a full scholarship to play basketball at our university." Isaiah's eyes widened. This was it. This was the culmination of his dream. He had not only won the state championship and earned the MVP award, but he had also secured a D1 scholarship. He shook the scout's hand, a huge smile spreading across his face. "Thank you," he said. "I accept." The locker room buzzed with excitement. The other players congratulated him, knowing that Isaiah's success was a victory for the whole team. He finally had a moment to himself. He looked down at the MVP medal in his hand, the cool medal a tangible reminder of his journey. He thought back to the day he was cut from the team, the day he overheard his teammates mocking him. He had come so far. He had transformed himself from the slow and soft player into a champion, a leader, and a D1 prospect. He had proven that with hard work, dedication, and belief in oneself, anything is possible. The journey was far from over, but he was ready for the next chapter. The MVP medal was more than just an award, it was a symbol of his resilience, his determination, and his unwavering commitment to his dream. It was a promise to himself to never give up, to always strive for excellence, and to always believe in the power of hard work. He clutched the medal tightly, knowing that it would serve as a constant reminder of the lessons he had learned and the challenges he had overcome. He was ready to embrace the future, confident that he could achieve anything he set his mind to. The following weeks were a whirlwind for Isaiah. News of his buzzer-beater and MVP performance spread like wildfire. He was interviewed by local newspapers and television stations. His story became an inspiration to many, a testament to the power of hard work and perseverance. He received countless messages of congratulations from friends, family, teachers, and even strangers. He was invited to speak at local schools and community events, sharing his story and encouraging others to pursue their dreams. He even received a letter from a famous NBA player, praising his determination and offering him words of encouragement. Isaiah was humbled and grateful for all the recognition. The Division I scholarship was a game-changer. It meant that he could continue playing basketball at a high level, while also getting a quality education. It was a dream come true. He visited the university, met the coach and the players, and toured the campus. He was impressed by the facilities, the academics, and the sense of community. He knew that this was the right place for him. He started preparing for college, both academically and athletically. He studied hard to maintain his grades and continued to train to improve his basketball skills. He wanted to be ready to make an impact on the team as soon as he arrived. He also reflected on his journey. He thought about all the challenges he had overcome, the obstacles he had faced, and the lessons he had learned. He realized that the most important thing he had gained was not just basketball skills, but also character, resilience, and a deep belief in himself. He was grateful for the support of his mom, his coach, and his teammates. They had believed in him even when he had doubted himself. He knew that he wouldn't have been able to achieve his dream without them. As he looked towards the future, he felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. He knew that college would be a new challenge, but he was ready to face it head-on. He was determined to continue working hard, improving his skills, and pursuing his dream of playing professional basketball. He knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but he was confident that he could overcome any obstacle. He had proven to himself that he had what it takes to succeed. He was no longer the slow and soft player that his teammates had once described. He was a champion, a leader, and a D1 athlete. He was ready to take on the world. The transformation was complete. Isaiah had not only achieved his dream but had also become a role model for others, demonstrating the power of hard work, perseverance, and unwavering self-belief. He was a living testament to the fact that anything is possible with enough dedication and the right mindset. His journey was a reminder that setbacks are simply opportunities for growth, and that the greatest victories are often born from the most difficult challenges. He was ready to inspire others and continue his journey, knowing that the lessons he had learned would guide him every step of the way. Isaiah's college career started with the same dedication and hard work that had defined his high school journey. He quickly adjusted to the higher level of competition, putting in extra hours in the gym and studying the game. He wasn't just content with being on the team, he wanted to make a significant impact. He earned the respect of his teammates and coaches with his unwavering work ethic and his positive attitude. He continued to be a leader, both on and off the court. He mentored younger players, shared his knowledge of the game, and always put the team first. He excelled both academically and athletically. He maintained a high GPA while also playing a key role on the basketball team. He became known for his clutch performances, his smart decision-making, and his ability to elevate the play of those around him. He faced new challenges in college, but he never gave up. He encountered tougher opponents, more demanding practices, and increased pressure. But he used the lessons he had learned in high school to overcome these obstacles. He remembered his teammates' hurtful words, and he used them as motivation to keep pushing himself. He remembered the long hours of training, the sacrifices he had made, and the support he had received from his mom and his coach. He continued to visualize success and practice positive self-talk. He reminded himself that he was capable of achieving anything he set his mind to. His college team became a force to be reckoned with. They won conference championships, made it to the NCAA tournament, and gained national recognition. Isaiah was a key contributor to their success, earning all conference honors and being recognized as one of the top players in the country. He attracted the attention of NBA scouts, who were impressed by his skills, his leadership, and his character. After his senior year, he was drafted into the NBA. His dream had come true. His story became an even greater inspiration to others. He showed that with hard work, dedication, and belief in oneself, even the loftiest goals can be achieved. He became a symbol of hope and possibility, proving that anything is possible with the right mindset. Isaiah's future shone brightly, illuminated by his relentless pursuit of excellence and his unwavering commitment to his dreams. He had not only fulfilled his own aspirations but had also inspired countless others to pursue theirs, leaving a legacy of perseverance and achievement that would endure for years to come. He was a true champion, both on and off the court, and his journey was a testament to the transformative power of hard work and unwavering belief in oneself. The bright future he envisioned was now a reality, a testament to the sacrifices, dedication, and unwavering spirit that had defined his remarkable journey. Years later, Isaiah, now a seasoned NBA player, often reflected on his journey. He would visit his old high school, speaking to students and sharing his story. He wanted them to understand that success wasn't about natural talent, it was about hard work, dedication, and believing in themselves. He would tell them about the day he was cut from the team, the day he overheard his teammates mocking him. He would explain how those experiences, though painful, had ultimately fueled his determination. He would emphasize the importance of having a dream and never giving up on it, no matter how difficult the challenges may seem. He would encourage them to find their passion, to set goals, and to work hard every day to achieve them. He would also stress the importance of surrounding themselves with positive influences, people who believed in them and supported their dreams. He would talk about his mom, his coach, and his teammates, and how their encouragement had helped him overcome obstacles. He would remind them that setbacks are inevitable, but they don't have to define them. He would explain how he had used his setbacks as opportunities for growth, learning from his mistakes and becoming stronger as a result. He would share his secret training plan, explaining how he had worked to improve his speed, strength, and confidence. He would emphasize the importance of setting goals, creating a plan, and taking consistent action. He would talk about the power of visualization and positive self-talk. He would encourage them to imagine themselves succeeding and to believe in their abilities. He would conclude his speeches with a simple message: hard work and believing in yourself can make anything possible. He wanted them to understand that they had the power to achieve their dreams, regardless of their circumstances. He had lived that message. He had transformed himself from a slow and soft player into an NBA star. He had proven that with hard work, dedication, and belief in oneself, anything is possible. His story was a testament to the transformative power of the human spirit. And as he looked out at the faces of the students, he knew that his message was resonating. He could see the spark of hope in their eyes, the glimmer of possibility. He knew that he had inspired them to believe in themselves and to pursue their dreams. His legacy extended beyond the basketball court. He had become a symbol of hope and inspiration for countless others. The lesson he had learned, the lesson he shared, was a timeless truth, that with hard work and unwavering self-belief, anything is possible. His journey was a testament to that truth, and his story would continue to inspire generations to come. The end.